What if I told you some of the greatest tech breakthroughs weren't the result of genius planning, but pure, unfiltered accidents? Yep. From life-saving medicines to gadgets we can't live without, these discoveries happened when scientists were chasing something completely different. Or just plain messing around. Crazy, right? But here's the kicker. These oops moments changed the world forever. Stick around, and I'll show you how 5 accidental discoveries reshaped science, medicine, and even your daily life. You'll never look at tech the same way again. Penicillin. Alright, picture this. It's 1928, and Alexander Fleming is just your average scientist trying to figure out how to fight bacteria. One day, he goes on vacation, because even geniuses need a break. And when he gets back, he finds something funky growing in one of his petri dishes. Turns out, this mold was killing off the bacteria like some microscopic superhero. That mold? Penicillin. Yep, the world's first antibiotic was basically a happy accident. Imagine if he'd cleaned up before leaving. Now let's talk about why this matters. Before penicillin, even a tiny cut could turn deadly if it got infected. But with this accidental discovery, doctors suddenly had a weapon against infections. Wars? Less fatal. Surgeries? Less risky. It's like Fleming handed humanity a cheat code for survival. Penicillin paved the way for modern antibiotics, which have saved millions of lives since then. But don't get too comfortable. Antibiotic resistance is a real thing, folks. So next time you're tempted to skip the last pill of your prescription, think of Fleming and his messy lab. That mold didn't work overtime just for you to mess it up. Speaking of unexpected discoveries, wait until you hear about invisible rays that changed everything. X-rays. Imagine this. It's 1895, and Wilhelm Röntgen is tinkering with cathode rays, because that's what you do when Netflix hasn't been invented yet. Suddenly, he notices something bizarre. His equipment is making invisible rays that can pass through solid objects. And here's the wild part. He didn't even know what to call them, so he just went with X-rays, like some kind of algebra problem. The man literally discovered a way to see inside the human body by accident. Talk about a plot twist. Fast forward to today, and X-rays are everywhere, from hospitals to airports. Got a broken bone? X-ray. Need to check your teeth? X-ray. Suspicious suitcase at security? Yep, X-ray again. This accidental discovery revolutionized medicine and even made crime-solving cooler. Hello, forensic science. Röntgen basically gave us superhero vision, minus the capes. But here's a fun fact. Röntgen refused to patent his discovery because he believed it should benefit all of humanity. What a guy, right? So next time you're at the dentist, awkwardly biting down on that weird plastic thing, give a little nod of thanks to Wilhelm. And if you think this is cool, wait until you hear how a snack mishap led to one of the greatest kitchen gadgets ever. Microwave oven. Alright, picture this. It's 1945, and Percy Spencer, an engineer working for Raytheon, is fiddling with radar equipment. You know, as one does. Suddenly, he notices the candy bar in his pocket has melted. Now, most of us would just think, great, now I've got chocolate everywhere. But not Percy. He realized the radar waves were heating the candy. Fast forward a few experiments later, including popping popcorn and exploding eggs. And voila! The microwave oven was born. Now think about how much easier life became after this accidental invention. Leftovers, reheated in seconds. Popcorn for movie night, done in minutes. It's like Percy handed us a magic box that saves time and keeps us fed. And let's not forget those late-night microwave meals, because cooking at 2 a.m.? No thanks. But here's the kicker. Microwaves weren't even meant for home kitchens at first. The original models were massive and crazy expensive. Like, sell your car expensive. Thankfully, they shrank down and got cheaper, becoming a kitchen staple we can't live without. So next time you nuke your coffee for the 3rd time in a day, remember Percy and his melted candy bar. Speaking of life-saving inventions, wait until you hear about a material that's 5 times stronger than steel. Kevlar. So it's 1965, and Stephanie Kwolek, a chemist at DuPont, is busy experimenting with polymers for car tires. One day, she mixes up a new batch, and instead of the usual gooey mess, She gets a strange, cloudy liquid. Most people would have tossed it out, but Stephanie? She's no quitter. She tested it and discovered it could be spun into fibers that were incredibly lightweight, yet stronger than steel. And just like that, Kevlar was born. Now, Kevlar isn't just some fancy science experiment, it's literally saving lives. Think bulletproof vests, helmets, and even space equipment. Police officers, soldiers, and astronauts all owe a big thank you to Stephanie's accidental genius. Oh, and fun fact, Kevlar is also used in things like smartphones and fiber optic cables. Talk about versatile! But here's the thing, Stephanie didn't just stumble upon Kevlar. She had the curiosity and grit to see potential where others might not. It's a reminder that sometimes breakthroughs come from embracing the unexpected. So whether you're biking with Kevlar reinforced tires or watching an action movie where someone dodges bullets in slow motion, you've got Stephanie to thank. Speaking of sticky situations, wait until you hear about a glue so strong it was discovered by mistake. Super glue. Here's a sticky story for you. It's 1942, and Dr. Harry Coover is working on materials for clear plastic gun sights during World War II. He whips up a new formula, but quickly realizes it's way too sticky for his project. Frustrated, he shelves it. Fast forward 6 years, and he stumbles upon the same formula again while working on a different project. This time, he realizes its true potential. Super glue was born. Talk about a comeback story. Now, super glue isn't just for fixing broken mugs or gluing your fingers together. Don't lie, we've all been there. It's been used in surgeries to close wounds, in crime scenes to lift fingerprints, and even in space missions. Yep, astronauts have used it for quick fixes in zero gravity. Who knew a failed experiment could go intergalactic? And here's the kicker. Super glue's strength lies in its ability to bond almost anything instantly. Whether you're repairing a broken vase or tackling a DIY project, it's your go-to tool. So next time you accidentally glue your hand to the table, remember Dr. Coover and his oops moment that turned into a global phenomenon. Now that we've unraveled these accidental tech marvels, let's tie it all together. So what's the takeaway here? Sometimes the biggest breakthroughs come from the most unexpected places. Are you ready to embrace your own happy accidents and see where they lead? Which of these discoveries blew your mind the most? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious. And hey, don't stop here. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss more stories that'll make you rethink everything. Who knows, maybe your next mistake could change the world too.